Unannounced, but we have to do this. I know you're gonna join us very soon. Holiday, Easter Monday, holiday vibe. Here with my, I don't even know what to call him now. First, I used to call him my senior man, Abdul Suleiman, and now I see
Sulaiman
him
Abdul.
come again.
My name is Sulaiman Abdul.
Suleiman Abdul, okay. And then now I revere him as my elder brother. Yes, as my elder brother, and personal confidant in the live session. Guys, I've seen comments coming from all of you talking about how you know he expounds on and how he dissects on content and topics. He's eloquent, he's well informed and a whole lot. Abdul Suleiman has come to stay, although for some time I'm gonna bombard him, but after some time I'm gonna give him space to also go about his usual duties. Guys, we don't want to be bringing people who will destroy and soil the modus operandi of the channel. So yeah, today we are discussing the streams, Spotify. All right, Spotify streams. Yesterday we spoke about it within a snap, but today we are just doing 30 minutes, just 30 minutes of the podcast. So I'm marking the time. Nigeria raked in $38 million from Spotify streams, and then South Africa did $22 million. Now that narrative and that has come to add up to a whole lot within the space. When others are waiting for Afrobeat to dwindle, to go down in the mud, and then they can lay claim to the basis of what they want to do. We want to say that we as Africans should understand and take note of the fact that we are brothers and we should be happy for the growth of our brothers. If you help your brother grow, you also grow naturally. So we are here today to discuss the Spotify streams and so on and so forth. I don't think Mr. Suleiman Abdul needs an introduction. I don't think so. He's well introduced to this channel. So I know. Let's start off with the Spotify streams. Mr. Abdul Suleiman, we've seen that of Nigeria's $38 million for the Spotify streams. But let's just oppose it with Burna Boy's narrative recently that artists should not only look at streaming earnings because it's not that much. They should look at other businesses, investments, making sure that they are getting money from other points. How would you quantify that into streaming? Is it for independent artists they make money, or for record artists on record labels they make money, but a chunk of the money goes to the record labels?
Well, the dynamics of or rather the sharing formula, I have no idea because I'm not in that space to understand what the contract is. However, I know what I can talk about is streaming numbers and the influence it creates for you. And what Burna Boy was simply talking about, people like Burna Boy, mind you, their kind of contract with their record labels are not how do I put it? Are not ownership contracts such that the record label owns everything. No. There was an interview he had the other day, I think some weeks, let me 2 months ago, when he said if they stress him too much, he'll just go to his account and withdraw the money and pay them back their money. He doesn't want stress. I don't know if that should tell you that maybe distribution. He wants to own everything by himself. Just the distribution is what he has with them. You understand? So with that understanding, people like Davido too, distribution deal is what they have. Not that they will own your catalog. If you have built your reach to that height, it gives you leverage to make negotiations. You understand? So such that you do not sell yourself. But the same cannot be said about up and coming artists,
Mm.
you know, who are desperate and they are young. They, you want the money, you want the fame, you want the exposure.
Mm.
So the kind of contract you will be getting, well, I don't want to say exploitative because there's no such thing as exploitation. You're assigned to a record label. They are providing the platform for you to grow. However, now let's go to the matter. Streaming, $38 million from Spotify. That's no joke.
Yeah.
That's no joke.
That's
And
money.
that's huge. And it was times two. It's times two of what was earned in 2023.
Yeah.
Times five of what was earned in 2022. Yet people are saying Afrobeat is going down.
Mm.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Divide $38 million by 5. That was the fraction Nigeria earned in 2022. 2023, 38 divided by 2, that's 16 million, was what Nigeria earned from Spotify. Now, 2024, 38 point something million dollars. It's no yam. What does that tell you? It's progression. You understand? They are moving forward. They are moving higher. So, as against the claim from some quarters that Afrobeat is dipping, no, rather it is going up.
Okay, guys, don't go anywhere. Our senior bro Suleiman's network is flipping a bit, but I'm gonna get him back. He would request. Yes, he's back with us. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Wizkid has the highest streaming numbers at 8.4 billion.
Okay.
Burna Boy is second, 7.9 billion, almost 8 billion. So what does that tell you? 8 billion streams, 8.4 billion. And Burna Boy is 7.9 something billion. And so on and so forth. And yet people are claiming that what's it called? Afrobeat is going down. Like I said yesterday, it has plateaued. So there's stability now. When it just came out, it was new. It was something that people were trying still, cashing on. But now there's stability. Everybody knows it has become part of the tradition. Okay, yes, we know this guy now. He's an household name. He's coming. He's releasing an album. So there's nothing. Well, right. But as for the progress, it's really progressing. And you can see what the likes of what's his name, Serotonin is doing now. You know Serotonin?
No.
Faceless.
Oh, Faceless. Is that his real name?
I think Serotonin is the real name. I think Faceless is the song. No,
okay.
I think so. Yeah, Serotonin is the name. Then Joy is coming. You see that Fido. You see this new guy. What's his name? Chella. Have you seen Chella?
Yeah.
Chella is doing crazy numbers.
Very, very crazy.
Chella is doing crazy numbers.
Yeah, very, very.
Yeah. When you see these new crops of guys coming up, it tells you one thing. It gives you hope about the future of Afrobeat. These guys are not joking. They are not playing.
That's true.
I said something yesterday. I said the next 4, 5, 6 years, all those Burna, Davido, Wizkid, they'll be out of the way.
Yeah, they're going to pave way for the next generation.
Our system does not allow for that much longevity. Why? Because reserve bench full. You don't understand? It's just like Lil Wayne coming back now, says he wants to do, mainstream music. Nah. There's no time for that. People, the train keeps moving. You understand? So there is. Remember when Burna Boy introduced Ashake to Kevin Hart? Remember, he said this is the future of the next generation. So it's promising. And these guys are young. So they're on fire. They will reign for a longer time. This new the big boys now. I remember the time of the band Don Jazzy, Van De Cole. Is it that they can still do good music? They do good music, but that time has passed.
Yeah.
So that's what it is.
Yeah. Interesting submission. And then what would we say to other African countries? We don't want to sound competitive. We don't want them to compare. We don't want them to feel left alone, left ajar. But when you look at that of Nigeria 38, South Africa 22, we come back to the other African countries. How hardworking and impactful has South Africa been with their music space?
South Africa has a very big music culture. Very, very big. In fact, the only reason Nigeria is above South Africa with the hip hop culture is that it's just because of our nature. We're loud, we're out there, and we work hard. That's it. So we invade territories. Like in the early 2000s, when we were going around all these countries from South Africa to Kenya to Tanzania, Ethiopia to Ghana to UK. All those times. Tell me, apart from the era of the era of Ahunka Wodo when VIP got into Nigeria, that time and that only that time and that once. Tell me which other African artists have made that kind of moves from that time till this very moment, apart from Diamond Platnumz. From that time till this very moment that you see, the only person you can name is Diamond Platnumz. Now he came for a wedding in Nigeria.
Yeah.
He's still in Nigeria. You understand? Taking advantage of the time to fraternize. So the thing is, I stumbled on a video, I think yesterday, about a Ugandan creator, Ugandan radio broadcast.
Yeah, the one you shared with me, right?
Yeah, was asking a Nigerian artist why they don't when they collaborate with Ugandans, they don't promote their songs. And the guy said, it's on you to promote. It's not collaboration is not that we're collaborating on a song.
Sense of entitlement.
Does not mean we owe you, that we owe you that much to make promotions for you. Promotion is expensive. Music promotion is expensive.
Yeah.
One of your DJs back, I think it was like 6, 7, 8 years back. They interviewed him and asked him about why they play more Nigerian music in clubs, and he said that Nigerian artists have them on payroll. I think if you search it, you'll find it. So Nigerian artists had them on payroll. That Olamide bought him his iPhone he was using. Olamide bought him laptop. Olamide gave DJs in Ghana $1,500. This is not this time more. You understand? So he bought iPhone, I think iPhone 12 for them all. Select DJs in Ghana. he just released an album at that time, downloaded his album on the iPhone, and gave them $1,500 each in Ghana there. So imagine he did that in Ghana. South Africa is there. Kenya is there. They go to UK. They do those kind of rounds. So what do you think? What would you have expected to happen? You understand? So what you see as the success of the Nigerian music industry is not by accident. It's real work. It's real work. I used to have a friend who was a producer sometime back, and those days were, I think it was 2005-6. They used to do production for like 20,000-30,000 naira. You understand? Although just roadside production. But production now, just go say make a cook beat for you, make you hear price. Just beats.
It's expensive.
That's because value has been added. You understand? A lot of money is expended on promotion. A lot. So that sector has become very big. And thanks to the guys for what they did. They spent a lot of money. They did promotion. They made it look attractive. So anybody who wants a slice of the cake in that market should consider doing the same things Nigerians did. And it's not hidden. When early 2000s, they were coming to Ghana, any small thing, they don't come Ghana, they don't go South Africa, they don't go Kenya, they don't go Tanzania, they don't go this place. So that's now waiting they bring the results. In fact, Nigerian artists don't even need to do any promotion again. You understand? They have worked. You get so and when you watch Ghanaian podcasts, they tell you what are we not doing right? What the Nigerians have done right, then they open for you to see. In the early 2000s, between 2000 to 2007, 8, go and watch the videos from that time. Almost all Nigerian music videos were done in South Africa.
Yeah.
You understand? Go and check from P-Square, The Band, Two Face, Now South Africa, they go do their videos. Why? Of course, South Africa is a fine place, and they were doing their marketing there as well.
I posted a video, I don't know if you saw it, on my shot of a South African man saying, you can check it out after the live session. He's saying he doesn't understand why people are calling Nigeria the giant of Africa. People should rather come to South Africa and experience South Africa, because South Africa is beautiful and then South Africa has what it takes to be the giant of Africa. So Nigeria is not the giant of Africa, but South Africa is. Then I didn't want to do a podcast about it because
but he has not told a lie. You understand? I'll explain it to you.
Okay.
South Africa is about the most industrialized country in Africa, if not the most. South Africa has the most beautiful cities in Africa. Cape Town has won the most beautiful city in the world 4 times. You understand?
Yeah.
Not be New York, not be London, not be Canberra, not Helsinki, not Brussels. Cape Town in Africa has won the most beautiful city in the world, I think 2-3 times or 4 times. You understand? And not that they have just one beautiful city. They have beautiful cities, just like you have in Europe and America. You understand? Agriculture, they are big. Exports, big. You understand? The reason we are above South Africa is that we have huge population. So if you do business in Nigeria, you're going to be rich. You understand? We have a huge population, and of course, with huge population comes prosperity in business. Consumption is huge. So that makes our GDP bigger than theirs. You understand?
Yeah.
How many big cities do we have? Maybe big cities. We have Abuja, we have Lagos, we have Port Harcourt, we have Calabar, we have, I think, maybe 5 or 6 big cities we have in Nigeria. We have
Is it safe to
Kaduna.
say that if we switch all the inhabitants from South Africa to Nigeria, and then we move all the inhabitants from Nigeria, I'm just making a case study, to South Africa, Nigerians are going to make South Africa the most beautiful and popular city in the world. I'm saying this because I'm not comparing, but I feel like they have everything to succeed, everything to their disposal. But the citizens, I don't know if it is with their upbringing and all, they feel threatened by foreigners. I don't know.
South Africa is the way it is because the whites remain there. You understand? So they built the city. It's a purpose-built. It's a purpose-built country to accommodate and suit the interest of the white people living there, the Europeans living there. That's why it's that developed. If Nigeria was still being ruled by the British Empire, it was still fine like that. We will still get all those things. If Ghana was still being ruled by British Empire, it was still fine like that. We'll still get all those things. Put development in the hands of a black man and it is ruined. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You get, we don't care.
Yeah. We'll
just
chop,
imagine, say,
we'll chop 50% and invest 50%.
Just imagine, say, snow they fall for Africa. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. Here where we did, so we did enter minus 26, minus 35, minus 35. You understand? And government has made everything available, heating, everything. Just imagine, say temperature hits 0, no, or minus 2 for anywhere in Africa. Are we not in trouble?
They're in trouble.
So what has happened is that over time, the white people in South Africa have built a formidable system for themselves. You understand? And it's working. It's just as simple as that. If they come out there today, leave South Africa for black people, it is finished. Simply put. The same thing goes for Namibia. Namibia is fine the way it is. It's because the white people are there. Simple. So South Africa, yes, we have our bias because we don't like xenophobia and all that. But truth must be said about the country for what it is. South Africa is a beautiful place. I have friends there, a lot of friends there. You understand? And they tell me, there's nothing you're looking for in America or Europe, anywhere. There's not in South Africa. In fact, Joburg is finer than anywhere you can think of in Europe or America.
Yeah.
You understand? So if you live in such a place, why would you not want to call yourself the giant of Africa? But it goes beyond that. You understand? We have
exactly. I feel like the giant of Africa goes beyond. That is why I said that if I made a case that if we move only the inhabitants, all the South Africans, and then we put them in Nigeria, then we move Nigeria to South Africa. Nigeria or Nigerians are going to make good use of what is being provided for them.
We could destroy them. We could destroy them.
No, I know we would. I know we are blacks. I know, but I'm talking about, let's say music videos.
Bro, let me tell you something.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. that issue does not even arise. You know why? Because if in terms of resources, we have the resources to develop our country to that level. So why did we not in the first place? We have the resources, not be the same mouth. Remember what David Cameron said some years back? He said that the amount of money that leaves Nigeria, that they loot in Nigeria, if they loot that kind of money for UK, the economy could collapse completely in one day.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Come on, Jacob Zuma. He's still in. After his presidency, he went to jail because he stole.
Yeah.
Now, okay, remove the structures in place that has made South Africa what it is. Just remove that. White men be the structure. Just remove the structure in place that has made South Africa what it is. Whether black men will steal all the money finish. Don't you understand?
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah. But don't you think that, I don't. Yesterday I used the word lazy, and I was called to understand that it's not laziness. Don't you think that the citizens are not making good use of the facilities in their country? How privileged they are, and they are still fighting foreigners. Such a country with such a beauty, that others will add up to the manpower and economic, output of the country. So what at all is wrong with the netizens of South Africa who feel unsafe when people are making it in their country?
Very good question. South Africa has its own reality. The South African black citizens suffered oppression, suppression, and what's it called, apartheid for a very long period of time.
Yeah.
So what you see happening is that they still live in the hangover of the suffering rather they have experienced. It's more like PTSD. So they look out, that's post-traumatic stress disorder. So they look for an outlet. You understand? Now, you being black, having, because they're still not totally liberated. 70% of the land in South Africa is still owned by white people. And that's what their president is trying to address now. They are promulgating a law to repeal the land from white people to, so that no land, you don't have such leverage on this land. The same thing is happening in Zimbabwe. The same thing is happening in what's this country, Namibia. You get. So now they are still not out of the claws of their colonial masters. South Africa is still highly colonized.
Yeah.
Now these people feel they have serious identity crisis. They feel that in their now 70% of the economy is run by white people. You understand? So they're still being subjugated on their own land. Now you come in to their country, establish business, running and paying them salaries. We that have not been off the claws of white people, they can't control us again. No, you're an enemy. I don't know if you understand.
Yeah.
You are the enemy. So it's an outlet for them to vent their anger. They still haven't gotten over the hangover of misrule, suppression, and appetite. You understand? So that's the problem they have.
It's quite interesting. Let's major on, since we are talking about South Africa. $22 million from South Africa. Is it the influence? Is it the influx of Amapiano? Or should we single out how impactful their artist Tyler has been for them? Have we had other artists, making waves like Tyler did last year?
Yesterday, I made mention that South Africa is an entertainment powerhouse. It's huge. very big. So they may not be that popular. Of course, they are popular because you know, the Uncle Waffles, you know, Tyler, you know, those Fralaban guys, you know, Maforisa, you know,
Uncle Waffles.
yeah, what's it called? In Tebo, what's her name? That's in don't say lady. You know, they have established artists. South Africa has always had established artists. They have a booming industry. They have always perennially had among the biggest global songs in the world. You understand? It has not just from now, not just now, from 80s, from Brenda Fassie, Yvonne Chaka Chaka, Miriam Makeba, name it, Paul Simon, Hugh Makasela. South Africa has never been devoid of, you know, colossal music proponents. You understand? They have been that big. They have always been that big. So it's a huge economy. South Africa has a very huge economy. They have a vibrant music, entertainment sector. They have the money to push it. You understand? And there's, you know, so the South African system is not different from that of Europe. They pay benefits in South Africa. If you don't have a job, they pay unemployment benefit. They pay all those benefits in South Africa. So it tells you how organized the system is. You get, and they now have a vibrant entertainment industry. The only thing we have above South Africa is that we are just, you know, we are dominant. We are go-getters. That's what makes our industry very lucrative. That's it. And if you look at it, our industry started from the scratch. The days of Two-Face, you know, the struggles they came to Lagos from Jos, I think, they came from Jos to Lagos, started their thing, started their group. Then Kenny's Music, you know, signed Plantation. No, Kenny's Music signed Plantation Boys. They started doing their thing. Idris Abdulkarim and the rest, what's it called, Remedies. You know, all these things. In fact, these things were self-funded from the beginning. P Square, Timbuktu Records, self-funded from the beginning. You know, no, because when you hear people trying to dissect the Nigerian music industry, they have money. No, they didn't have money. Oh. They don't get money. Oh. These guys, go and look at P Square's first video, Senorita. Those singlets with them, we are now very fake old singlet. Oh. You know, these guys, it tells you about the hustle. These guys, you know, they toughed the way up. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Then tough them out. Sorry, I have to go. I have an appointment now.
Okay.
I'm very sorry.
No problem, sir. Go ahead.
Sorry.
All right.
So let's have it next week, please. Next
weekend, yes. Go ahead. All right, guys. We touched on Suleiman Abdul has to, you know, leave us. Sorry. You know, we just came to do 30 minutes of, you know, the streams, the online streams with Nigeria having, you know, 38 million US dollars, South Africa raking in, you know, $22 million, you know. And then another thing we touched on the Nigeria industry. We look at how great it has been. And then South Africa also doing their own, although Nigeria is way up there. South Africa is also doing their thing here, you know. And then, they have talent. And we looked at the setting of their country, the infrastructure, everything, why they do not make good use of it. And then we dissected on, you know, a lot of their properties being owned by the white people, you know, and they are fighting for that. And then how the apartheid rule has affected them, you know, drastically. The apartheid rule has affected them, you know, and with their mindset and all. But it comes back to one thing, that now Africa is being controlled, and Nigeria, giant of Africa. We cannot take away that from Nigeria. Go getters, different. In every activity, different in all they do. I am right after this video, which I'm going to cut and sign out soon. I'm going to drop an editorial. You will love that editorial. Okay, today I've not been able to shoot. Yes, we love that editorial. And then we looked at, how Nigeria has been an example for other African countries to follow. All right, so it is Nigeria setting the pace. The streams. If you check last year, this year's stream money is for Spotify is times 2. If you check the previous years, Afrobeat is giving us African image. Afrobeat is giving Africa that leeway. Afrobeat is giving Africa that new face and spreading across the globe. A new wave of the African space. And like I said, if you meet any Nigerian, the modus operandi is them promoting Africa, because when Nigeria thrives, Africa follows. So the giant of Africa given to Nigeria is not on a silver platter. It's hard work. Hard work has earned them, the giant of Africa. And we know Suleiman has expounded on it. Today we decided to just touch on the Spotify streams and shout outs to Nigerian artists and the upcoming artists who are also making waves. Whoa, you guys they do you guys they vibe like go getters for real. The go getters spirit way they your DNA. I sure say I don't want to talk about what I'm about to say. So guys, it's just a brief live session. Shout outs to Nigeria. Congratulations to Nigeria for the streams. I know say the 38 million. Next year we go come here and discuss 70 million. $70 million. Let's mark it on the wall. It will be in the region of 50, 60 to 70 million dollars of Spotify streams from Nigeria. Mark it on the wall. Most times I don't prophesy here. I'm not doing prophetic, declarations here. But I'm talking about, I'm able to predict. I'm not a prophet. So, when you look at how it has doubled up this year, then you know that next year it will be within that region. It will move from 38 million to 50, 60, 70. Mark it on the wall within this threshold. And it is my wish that next year Nigeria's Spotify stream will reach 60 million US dollars. And as usual, we're here to expound on it. So shout outs to every Nigeria. South Africa too, they do well, not bad. You guys they do not bad. You guys they do and then now it is Nigeria up there. It is South Africa here. And then we can say same for, let's not forget the Francophone countries, the likes of Fally Ipupa. Wow, another great guy. You will never hear other Africans comparing, themselves to Nigeria because they know how Nigerians are. Except my country. Sorry for that. I have to bring that in. But one narrative still stands, and it's with the fact that Nigerians are going to double their earnings for the Spotify streams next year. Mark this live session on the wall. Abdul Suleiman just left, or Suleiman Abdul just left us. But I just want to make this declaration before I sign up. Nigerians are going to double the 38 million next year. And we'll all be here to expand on it. So it's beautiful. All right. Let's also take note that Fally Ipupa could also fail Arenas in France, because that is a stronghold. If you understand all these metrics, then competition and comparison will not be your thing. You cannot do it like people who have been born naturally with what they are doing, who are different. So you do what you can. And that is what the likes of Fally Ipupa are doing. That's what the likes of Diamond Platinum, instead of sounding competitive, they are collaborative, and they are more collaborating with Nigerians to make sure that they reach their goal. I hope my country will learn going forward, and I hope we will learn the soft way, but not the hard way. So on the final stages, shout outs to Nigeria for owning the Spotify streams 38, and then South Africa following suit. Shout outs to the Francophone countries, Fally Ipupa, Awilo Longomba, and all these people in the Francophone countries. Shout outs to Diamond Platinum and his East African comrades, all right, for also doing their thing and showing one thing, that we can all bask in the glory of where our strength is. We can all enjoy where our strength is. Guys, for some few minutes, let's say 30 minutes, 45 minutes, I'm going to drop a video. So be here. I'm going to talk about something interesting. So be here, be square, and be fair. And we're going to do this. I'm signing out of the live session. It was an impromptu one. Thank you for joining. Let me read comments. It wouldn't have been fair if I don't read comments. Adedotun Adesi that is saying, hello, nice program. I always enjoy your podcast. It's an entertaining and educative one. Cheers. I'm a Nigerian. I salute you, senior. I'm always proud of you. Adedotun Adesi that. Thank you. Emerald Fruit is saying, hello. Hey, hello. I love Nigeria. Thank you, Emily. And then God is love is saying good morning. God is love. You didn't call me. I was waiting for your call. God is love. They feel shy. Okay. Adedisha is saying Ibadan. Yes, I think when we're talking about the big cities in Africa, we spoke about Lagos, Abuja, and a whole lot. Adeditun Adesida is adding Ibadan. Ibadan, right? This time I got it right. Okay, guys. See you over the weekend. I don't come live on weekdays, today is a holiday, so Easter Monday. Happy Easter Monday to each and every one of you. All right, let's do this more often. All right, you know how I sign out. I salute you and peace out.